It's a great honor that we have former chairman, Pollution Control Board, Dr. Vaman Acharya, who is with us today, and to share the knowledge with respect to environment and sustainability. Dr. Vaman Acharya was the chairman with Karnataka State Pollution Control Board for approximately 3 years. He is actually a medical professional, but his passion towards environment and towards social initiatives has made him to work through Pollution Control Board, and where he has worked a lot on air pollution, on noise pollution, and majorly for the waste to resources. These are few initiatives which I just spoke, which he has done. With respect to infra, as I said, it's a great pride that Sir is going to be our mentor in environment and sustainability initiatives. So now here we bring you Dr. Vaman Acharya, former President, Karnataka State Pollution Control Board. Sir. For yesterday, and he is actually not well, but still he has accepted our request to be a part of this fraternity and share his thoughts, his initiatives, so that we all can understand, and we can also be a part of same initiatives, and we can contribute towards the society. So thank you very much.
I'm attending for the first time. I've also tried to understand about the efforts that infra team is doing to build a center of knowledge, center of data, center of people who can contribute for better tomorrow, and as well better today. I have been associated with different environmental activities for last several years, and for last 3 years I happened to be chairman of Karnataka State Pollution Control Board. During our active days, there was a small song in Kannada. We got freedom, and immediately after 10 to 15 years after getting freedom, when the effects of freedom were not reaching the society, there was a song. ಯಾರಿಗೆ ಬಂತು ಸ್ವಾತಂತ್ರ್ಯ 47ರ ಸ್ವಾತಂತ್ರ್ಯ. Who got the real independence in this country? The independence of 1947. Means there was a feeling among the people that the effects of independence, the effects of self-rule have not been able to reach the common man in this country. Then different changes have happened. Today we are at a level where we are progressing every day. There are new programs, new schemes. Lot of companies have come in. And among companies also, there is a continuous thrust for innovation, improvement of human capabilities, even though they are in corporate section, even though many of you are in a section where profitability is such an important issue, but still you cannot be Midas. You must have heard of the story of King Midas. There was a king called King Midas. He tried so much. He became a big corporate. Tried to make so much money that everything he touches, he wanted it to be made into a gold. He got that power. He came home. He touched his table, it became a golden table. He was so happy, successful. He went and touched whatever was there, even the trees and plants, they were all golden. Looking at this, his daughter came running. He touched his daughter. She became gold and he started crying. Beyond human relations, things cannot just become Midas. That's even called Midas touch. So, when I was asked to speak about sustainability in FM activities, these facility managements and HR and capacity buildings, training, all this, I was wondering how this will reach the society, how it can be taken to the masses. There is a problem of sustainability of common things for all of us. We have the question of sustainability of cleanliness. Honorable Prime Minister has launched a program called Clean India. I had launched a program 3 years back in Karnataka called Calm India. Why India is making so much noise, I don't know. Everywhere, unless your car is quite tightly closed and AC, you just can't even travel, leave alone sitting in your house. If your house is on the main road, you can't open your window and get relaxed. No new air can enter into your room. In Kannada, we had a beautiful song, Kudida Galiya Kudidu Kudidu, Jeevan Idrisa Todagide. We are sleeping by inhaling the same air we have been doing for so many years. India needs a clean India. India needs a calm India. India needs to be developed. We want to see with our own eyes. In Marathi there is a saying called Yatsa Dehi, Yatsa Dole. Means with my own eyes and with my own body, not just for tomorrow, not just for next generation, I want to see changes happening in this century and I want to see myself in front of my own eyes. So for this I want to see a developed India, a clean India, a calm India, a developed India. Developed for whom? Developed for the lowest, the last person of this country. How can this be achieved? It cannot be a job of just the government. It is the industry, it is the enterprise, it is the common man who has reached this stage a little of a developed India. We should all be able to contribute this. People were asking me, what do you think is the development? I said, if you are building a beautiful airport, if you are building a beautiful road, no. The first thing that has to be developed is, even today, India needs a little more than 6 to 7 crore houses. People do not have houses where they can live with just minimum facilities of a bathroom, of water, of a latrine. If this is the situation, what is the use of your beautiful international airports? So from where should we start our development which will sustain, which can last long? It is from the last person. How to plan that? Our general theory so far has been the theory of percolation. No, we will build a lot of money and other things at the top. Slowly it will percolate. But what is happening with the percolation? India is going through a challenge of percolation. When you are trying to percolate, more and more money as in the cities, The urban migration, people from villages are trying to come to cities, is so huge, unplanned, unprecedented. India is with huge slums. So much of people coming to city. Yes, I do agree that some amount of infrastructure, some amount of facilities and so-called developed India is reaching city people. But even today, people in villages have not received what they should get, and the people in cities are not enjoying. Whenever I ask people being in city, they say that my younger days, even in my small village, were much better than the well-developed cities here in Bangalore. So neither we are happy there nor we are happy here. So our infrastructures have to be built for a clean India, a calm India, a developed India, a India for common man. That's why I started my first sentence as Yarige Bantu Swatantra. Who got that independence of 1947? The last person has not yet got. So the problems of urban areas where lot of migration is there, we have air pollution. Recently, I wanted to track what is happening in Bangalore. After Delhi, probably Bangalore is the second highest polluted city. What is our infrastructure that has developed, the facilities we have made, and how they have converted themselves into problems as well. Bangalore has 56 lakh vehicles. For 1 kilometer, I think there are 503 vehicles standing one behind the other. There is no place for the vehicle to move. Our roads, our infrastructure was built for bullock carts and for horse carts. Ratha. People used to call them as Ratha Bidi or the main road. Days have changed, but where is the infrastructure to that level? To the level that is needed. So we need roads. Once roads are there, you have so many cars. Once if you have so many cars, we have so much of pollution. The carbon level or particle level that has to be, that can be in cities, could be at the level of 30, 40 microns per cubic meter. But the amount that Bangalore has is as high in some places as 226, 228. You can't see many a times. But the amount of carbon particles we are inhaling is so high. So the quality of life, the amount of water in India, average is expected to be around 115 liters per day. But whereas water available today in most of the rural areas is just 25 liters a day, which is not even sufficient for one single bath. What is the land availability? What is the food availability? What are the availabilities of agriculturable land? How is it the whole India will look after another 20 years? Why I said is in front of my own eyes. I can see how India will sustain on food issues. These are the areas where the sustainability issues have to be planned right from now. So sustainability and people who can think as a body, who can be data centers, who can supply ideas and as well provide trained personnel to build all these infrastructures. Sometimes I was wondering, in Bangalore there are about 100 beautiful lakes. All the lakes are polluted. We don't have companies who will say that yes, I will take up this lake and make improvement. There are no people who will give us ideas how to make it and bring it to a level of happy living. When the whole world has such a beautiful quality living, why India is being denied of it? It is denied of it because we are to prepare ourselves for this level, people should be prepared. The people mind has to be prepared. India has few challenges that we have very high population. You can't bring a model from outside and make it sustainable and workable for India. We have to develop. India, the resource amount per capita is quite less. India is such an old country, probably nowhere in the world. A country which has a history of 10,000 years with the same religion, same belief, same varieties is continuing to live. All countries have changed. After religious renaissance, Europe changed, all Arab countries changed, most of the countries like China and Russia changed because of the communist thinking. India is one country which has remained with its tradition for more than 10,000 years. My friends used to tell me that India every day lives between 7th century to 21st century. Every day. Morning he will get up, make the puja even for your computer, then open the computer and start working on the computer. You know, he lives every minute. Whatever has been done in 7th century and whatever is being done in 21st century, one way it is good. My brain remembers so many things. I have ability to proceed. That helps me, gives me a linkage. But at the same time, it becomes a burden also. When you bring so many varieties of people, how to make them think in one way that will help this country? How to make so many people to understand what infrastructure we have, what are the facilities we have, and how we can live together. India is a country which has been making so much of noise everywhere. Puja, this, that, from morning till he sleeps at night. Look at our mobiles. You have to come and tell on the stage that please put off your mobile or put them to silence. India is one strange country where our mobiles make so much noise. Our pujas make so much of noise. Our Ganesha makes so much of noise. Everything makes noise. Such many things are there. I only quoted one thing. Because we are a 10,000-year-old country, even in most developed communities, societies, we have the problems called caste. We have still the problem called untouchabilities. We have still so many problems. And because of that, changing the society to the level where we are is slowly taking time. It takes time. How to make India developed, how to make India clean, how to make India calm. All these things have a history. So even that is very important. Such many challenges are there for this country. I would like that, I only wanted to give a just beginning of a thinking of such a variety of activity that we are all expected to do, and we have gathered here to do that. I am extremely happy because we should have a bigger aim. We should have a wide thinking when we start for small. So I always had been telling that for India, my district and my country, ultimately what should happen? India is a wide country. We have around 700 odd districts. If each district becomes well developed, good train, sufficient forest for next 100 or 1000 years, well managed water resources, people not traveling and not migrating much, each district in India is as capable as any small European country. So if India can become a conglomeration of such well-developed, equal to country, my district is my country, to that level, India will be a developed country, and only such developments where migration is less, resource is well managed, people are in moderate size communities, people in very big communities will lose their identity and slowly become restless. Society becomes criminalized. So I ultimately conclude my saying not only my India should be a clean India, my India should be a calm India, my India should be a developed India, my India should be decentralized India. Ultimately, my India should be happy India.